Aloha, listeners. Welcome to episode 3 of the meditation series on Light Diamond Creative. Pew, 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 pew. Yes, we are here for episode 3. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in to Light Diamond Creative. If you have tuned in, tapped in, turned on, it's probably because you have found this through the Light Diamond Creative Instagram page or the Light Diamond Creative YouTube channel. My name is Martha, and I am the creator of Light Diamond Creative. In my attempt to free myself from the system at large. Really, the process began in mid-2020, but we won't get into that in this episode. That is for a future time. All right. The meditation series is really for you, for your benefit, to learn about meditation, to learn about the science behind meditation. I have a bachelor's of science in biology, and so I really find meditation fascinating because of the biology around it and because of how I have experienced meditation personally and what it has done for me. So I feel really excited to share about meditation, and that is why we're here, because here we are on planet Earth trying to navigate this ish, and we need tools, right? Because it's crazy out there. So here is a tool that can be helpful for you. And I will say, meditation is a practice. It is most beneficial when one has a regular practice. It's like a sport in that more benefits come the longer you do it. Or if you don't like sports, what else do you like that has taken time to reap benefits from? And I'm not saying that one doesn't receive benefits immediately. I did. However, those long-term benefits are really where the gold nuggets are at. So I highly recommend meditation. And there are so many different styles that one can practice. Whatever resonates with you is what's best. The 9 chakra meditation, however, this is the one that I'll be recommending most because I've been practicing it for over 4 years, since October 2018, when it was gifted to me by an anointed Buddhist monk. And the 9 chakra meditation has its origin in Buddhism, which is not a religion, it's a philosophy. And it spans the time beyond BC into 500 BC. So it's old, and I think that amongst this time on Earth, it's a really great idea to connect with ancient practices from people who were able to be grounded into their reality. So here we go, the 9 Chakra System. And FYI, there are 2 episodes before this. Again, this is episode 3. I would highly recommend going to episode 1 and listening, because in that episode, I discuss the science of meditation. It really gets into a lot more details about the biology behind meditation and how it helps our mental, emotional, and physical bodies, not to mention spiritual and social. We'll get more into those 5 aspects at another time. Episode 1 is going to be really good for hearing about the science of meditation. And episode 2, I get into the root chakra. And in that episode, it's kind of a hybrid. Talk a little bit about the root chakra and information regarding that space of the body. And then the back half of episode 2, we get into a root chakra meditation. So those are both really good episodes. In this episode, we're going to dive deeper into the basic practice of the root chakra from this Buddhist perspective. The root chakra. All right, we're just going to get into it. This space is so profoundly important. Chakra, energy wheel, sphere of energy. This is both referring to the physical space of the root chakra at the base of the spine and the other aspects that are beyond physical. It has been shown that if we have repressed mental pain, emotional pain, if we have trauma, the physical body will store this energy if it is not properly expressed. And if the body is holding on to these mental or emotional or spiritual pains, they can become expressed as physical pain. And I think about all of the people who, like myself, have suffered from back pain, and it is just mind-blowing to fathom that some of this physical pain can be because there is repressed emotional or mental pain. So what if we are able to relieve ourselves of physical pain by addressing the mental and emotional bodies? And what if we are able to come into greater physical health for approaching the trauma and the repressed thoughts and emotions that have been stored up for possibly decades? You know, a lot of us have experienced childhood trauma. We're just going to go there. This is a place to go there. We're going there. A lot of us have trauma from childhood. A lot of us have trauma from being a teenager. A lot of us have trauma from lots of different things, okay? And so the root chakra, giving focus to this space, gives us the opportunity to gently release that from the body by going within and giving ourselves special attention. So much of Eastern Buddhist philosophy has been applied in Western therapeutic and clinical settings because of how the Buddhist philosophy is able to help one rewire their mind and heart. It is a personal approach to therapy, going through therapy really without anybody else. You know, some of us don't want to go see anybody because we have such trust issues that we wouldn't want to share our most personal items with someone we don't know, or with someone we do know for that matter. So meditation is a great alternative for people who need help but aren't sure who to go to or who to trust. Well, do you trust yourself? What if one took a few moments every day or almost every day to go within and untangle these energetic knots and resolve those issues so that our behaviors would no longer reflect the shadows of trauma, and instead our behaviors would alter to reflect healed trauma, and therefore no longer repeating patterns of maybe drawing in narcissists or having no boundaries. It's amazing what meditation can do. So let's dive in. Root chakra of the 9 chakra system. And again, just because this is a 9 chakra system instead of a 7 chakra system doesn't mean that, you know, we crap on the 7 chakra system. No, it's not like that. The 9 chakra system, however, I do believe to be especially beneficial because the way that these 9 chakras are spaced in the body are evenly and as a biologist who has studied symmetry, the 9-chakra system seems to fit a little bit better. And many of us know that information has been withheld from us to keep us disempowered. So why not? Why not try out the 9-chakra system? The root chakra. If you look up this perspective online, outside of this podcast, you probably won't find it because this practice is traditionally passed down one-on-one in person by people who are or will become anointed Buddhist monks. The way that this practice was gifted to me is important, and I will do my best to give it to you in a way that is appropriate for your most optimal alignment. So we will go maybe slower than what one may think is appropriate, but slowly is better in this case. When I was gifted the root chakra meditation, there was an initiation, and I'm not talking about going out and doing some harmful crap to something else to get approval of some person in a freaking hood of darkness. I'm not talking about that. The initiation process for activating the root chakra is taking 90 breaths and repeating the Sanskrit mantra aloud 3 times on every exhale. And when one goes through the initiation process, that is receiving the information for the root chakra and taking the 90 breaths while speaking the Sanskrit mantra 3 times on the exhale. When one does this, it activates the energy of this space in a way that you just got to find out for yourself. So if the information about the root chakra and the 9-chakra system resonates with you, I recommend taking a moment to yourself to do these 90 breaths and speaking the mantra 3 times on the exhale to see for yourself. Or you can just listen to these meditations that I'll give you, and that will be good too. The visual for the root chakra in this practice is beautiful. It is imagining that above the head there is a cloud, and this cloud is red and silver. Kind of a strange cloud, huh? This cloud that is red and silver, like most clouds, has rain and thunder and lightning. It rests above the head, hovering above the crown chakra, which we visualize as open to receive the rain, the thunder, and the lightning of the red and silver cloud. And the visualization continues as we see and feel and hear the energy of the thunder and lightning and rain traveling down the central column, the vertebrae, the spine, the prana tube. It has many names. We imagine this energy coming down through an open crown, through each of the chakras, traveling down the central column until eventually reaching the root chakra at the base of the spine. And in the base of the spine, there is a centered single flame, an eternal flame. It will not go out. This is a special flame, okay? It is you. It is your flame. Eternal. And so when we are in meditation for the root chakra of the 9-chakra system, we visualize and feel this process. And that is the traditional visualization. I will say that in my personal practice, The visualization of this, and who knows why this is the visualization that ancient Buddhists picked, I'm not sure. However, I can say that this visualization really opens up the energy between root and crown, and the connection that we have with the external, the divine source, cosmic intelligence, the connection that we have with that increases and clarifies so that through this practice of the root chakra, we can receive important downloads. The root chakra can be perceived in a few different ways. And if you look up the 7 chakra system, you may find that it represents stability. And that makes sense, right? You may find that it represents structure and safety, that it is the 3D manifestation of non-3D knowings, life. It is the 3D expression of the spirit, which is multidimensional beyond the third. It is the thought that is expressed in action. It is the knowing that leads to one's movement through their life. And in this practice specifically, the key word is trust. Oh, wow, trust. Depending on how we respond or react to the visualization, the keywords, that shows us where we are in our energy. And as we meditate, we can be that third person perspective that views ourselves, watches ourselves as the energy within us gets stirred up while we focus on the visualization or while we focus on the key words. You know, we can grow our awareness to collect information on how our own energy behaves when we focus on these things. And there's a lot of value in that. And we are all in a different space of our journey. You know, you are so unique. Your position in time space is yours alone, and no one can really know where you're at, especially if you don't know where you're at. But you probably know where you're at better than any other living creature. So, you know, maybe not. It's open. It's all open for interpretation. Only you can know. You can know the best. We'll put it like that. So, what else? Each chakra of the 9 chakra system has a visual. Each chakra of the 9 chakra system has a keyword or key phrase. Each chakra of the 9 chakra system has a mantra, a Sanskrit mantra. And in this case of the root chakra, the Sanskrit mantra goes, Om Vajra Manataya Swaha, Om Vajra Manataya Swaha, Om Vajra Manataya Swaha. The translation of this mantra is, O glory to the divine, so be it. O glory to the divine, so be it. O glory to the divine, so be it. When we are in meditation, we can ask, what does that mean? What does that mean, O glory to the divine, so be it? I'll give you a nugget on something I learned along the path, and that is, it's not only referring to the divine that is outside of the self. It is referring to the divine within as well. And that is a whole exploration for one to go through when one meditates on the root chakra of the 9 chakra system and this Sanskrit mantra. That is a whole thing that will be personal for you. In each chakra of the 9 chakra system, there's also a mudra, and the mudra is a hand position. If you look in yoga practices, you'll find that there are many mudras. If you look in the Eastern traditions, you'll find that different hand positions signal or signify different meanings. And so in this practice, there is a hand position, which I won't describe to you because it's hard to describe, okay? But, if you catch me in person, I'll show you for sure. So these are all aspects of the root chakra, the visual, the red and shiny cloud, raining into the root with the single flame at the center of the basin. And the key word, trust. What does that mean? Trust, what does that mean? The mudra, the mantra, which I gave you the meaning for. And when we are focusing on these aspects within meditation, we are rewiring our brain. We are creating new neural pathways by shifting our focus from whatever to these beautiful, virtuous parts of the root chakra. And because of that shift in focus, we're creating these new neural pathways, or we are running pathways that maybe you have already created, but emphasizing them instead of emphasizing something that might be a negative mental pathway that affects where you're at emotionally. There's a lot to be said for shifting one's focus for 5 or 10 or 30 minutes or 60 minutes a day in meditation. All of that will carry over, no doubt. So there's the whole effect of the neurological pathways shifting in the brain being a huge benefit to oneself as we meditate. And then there's also just the practice of focus itself. I have long-term projects I'm working on. What are the benefits of practicing focus every single day? How does that translate? And I'm going to tell you, as somebody who's benefited, you don't lose sight of the goals that are long-term or short-term. I'm much more able to accomplish the tasks that I need to for having practiced focus itself within meditation. If I'm in meditation and I find this, I get this awareness that my mind is traveling somewhere else, when I have these few things I can focus on, I can ask myself, why am I going there instead of to these points of focus? Can I bring myself back to these points of focus? And if I find that what is drawing me away has a pattern, if I'm always going there, then maybe it's important for me to go there and dive in a little bit deeper and see, why am I going there? Why is that pattern present? And that might take me down a whole rabbit hole of untying energetic knots. And then when I'm finished untying those knots, I'm like, wow, that was a lot of space that stuff took up. And now there's room for something else, which is amazing. A few other things I'll say. I'm going to keep this to a 25-minute episode. The first 2 were 20. I gotta say, and this might sound frou-frou or woo-woo, and I just don't care, because the reality is, in my experience, with the Sanskrit mantras, here you go. Are you ready? Every person who has ever spoken these mantras, the wisdom that they have found is encoded within the sound, within the syllables of the Sanskrit. Meaning, when we are focusing on the Sanskrit mantra, all of the gold nuggets that other people found are available to us as we are ready to find those gold nuggets and receive them so that they may be integrated, downloaded, and then integrated into our own psyche. Those knowings are available to us. You don't have to go online to find all the secrets. I'm sorry. They are probably, the best secrets are not online. The ones that are good for us, they are direct from source. So how awesome is it that we can practice a sacred Sanskrit mantra and it develop our energy in such a way that we can access, like the Akashic records, we can access information that is pivotal and profound and available to us for our spirit's growth. It's incredible. I mean, there's stuff that I have found in there that I don't need to tell you, because if you practiced this meditation, you would find them yourself. You'd probably find different stuff. You're somewhere else than I am. So, you could be ahead for all I know, and you'll find something that's beyond what I've currently found. Maybe you're that far ahead, or maybe where you're at in your path means that you get access to something else that's helpful to you at this time. That information is available to you in the sound of the Sanskrit. Let's see, what else can I tell you? Oh yes, the root chakra. The root chakra will affect all of the chakras above the root. By spending time meditating in the root, every single other chakra, every single other energy wheel, every single sphere of energy above the root will be affected into alignment for having focused time spent in the root space. You affect the foundation, you affect the rest of the house. It's true. It's amazing. I mean, I can't say enough about it. That's why I'm here. That's why we're doing a whole series on it. Something that okay, let's just go a little bit into trauma work, and then I'm going to cut this episode. The root chakra is where we store a lot of our trauma. Not all of what we'll find in the root space will be about trauma, but it is a great space to begin addressing trauma and resolving it instead of stuffing it down, so that we can become our greatest version that no longer is the victim, but instead has found the lessons that can be applied in every situation moving forward. That's why I refer to the gold nuggets, the lessons. How can I transmute myself so that I am no longer the victim of my trauma and instead am empowered by the lessons that I learned from resolving that trauma that I stored in my physical body? What would it be like to walk through life without the negative effects of trauma? Ponder that one, will ya? Let's see. So that is the root chakra. In the next episode, it will be purely a root chakra meditation. I'm not going to talk about the science of meditation or the insights of the root chakra like I did in this episode 3. In episode 4, it will all be a meditation so that you can take a seated position or you can lie down in a comfortable and safe space to meditate through the root chakra together with the Sanskrit mantra, with the visualization, with the keywords. So if that sounds good to you, if you would like to meditate together, I hope you tune in for episode 4. This is Martha with Light Diamond Creative. You can find me on Instagram at Light Diamond Creative. You can find the channel Light Diamond Creative on YouTube as well. It's got all sorts of random content, although less random now as we're focusing in. Science, music, spirit, art. Those are types of things you can find on the YouTube channel. I also have some classes, weekly classes, meditation classes in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, 4 times a week. Twice a week, you can find me at the Human Experience, which is in Fayetteville. At the Human Experience, we're going to meditate for 75 minutes on Wednesdays and Thursdays, both evenings starting at 7:30 p.m. Central. If you are closer to the Eureka Springs location, the Eureka Springs Community Center, which is the old high school, we can meditate together Friday and Saturday mornings for 60 minutes starting at 11 a.m. And I have special events coming up soon at both of these locations as well. February 11th, Meditation Expose, talking about meditation, answering questions. That's at Eureka Springs Community Center. That will be at 12:30, although the center is going to be open all day for the Eureka Springs Chocolate Festival, which is apparently awesome and happens every year. So feel free to come in for that free event. And another exciting event coming up is this Valentine's Day season. Come into union with yourself. I'll be guiding that over at the Human Experience in Fayetteville and at Eureka Springs Community Center. Stay tuned for dates. Follow online on Instagram at Light Diamond Creative for more information about those events coming up in February. If you feel so inclined because you are financially abundant, feel free to donate to Light Diamond Creative to support this creative content. You can find Light Diamond Creative on Venmo, and all donations are appreciated. I am an entrepreneur. I'm trying to get this ship sailing, and that is that. So, invitation, not an obligation. All right. I know what it's like to not have money, so if you do not have anything, do not feel obligated at all. And I think that's it. So thank you all so much for listening. Wherever you are, I hope that you are tuning in to your most optimal experience, the most optimal unfolding of your life. Thanks again. This is Martha at Light Diamond Creative. Until next time, episode 4. Peace.